He wasn't talking about Shedeur Sanders. He came out right after the press conference or after that interview and clarified what he meant.
I think the other part, Adam, that you know, and I appreciate where you're coming from, but I think the part that can't be ignored is the Shedeur Sanders element in terms of what would people have thought had he made that comment. Had that been Shedeur Sanders who made that exact comment, it would have been taken completely differently.
One love tuned in to the Dark Times Challenge.
And so I had to take a second to chime in on what ESPN had to say about Dillon Gabriel. And I wasn't shocked. I wasn't surprised. Most of the panel agreed unanimously that Dillon Gabriel simply made a mistake. He simply messed up. He misspoke, and that the media was taking everything out of context.
I never believed he was talking about Shedeur Sanders. I totally believed him when he said he was talking about the media. I want to get that out the way first. I don't think he was talking about Shedeur Sanders as well. I think when you heard the comparisons were emanating from the media more so than anybody else.
I don't know Dillon Gabriel, so I'm going to take him at his word. I have no reason to doubt or think that he's making up an excuse for it now.
And one of my favorite analysts on ESPN, Tannenbaum, kept it pretty real on this one. And this is a guy that's been around in the NFL for quite some time. He's been in pretty much every position. He's been a VP, he's been a general manager, he's been in charge of player personnel for the Cleveland Browns. And so he knows a thing or two about a thing or two. Go ahead and take a listen.
But that's totally unacceptable. Again, like when you're a rookie, it's all about, hey, I'm just happy to be here. I want to get coached. I want to get developed. The fact that even if he is, to Stephen A's point, calling out the media, what are you doing? You're a third-round pick. There's 4 quarterbacks. 99% of the league is going to keep 3. And by the way, if you get cut, your audience when you speak is the 31 other decision makers, and it's a way for you to let people know how good you are, what a great teammate you are. So again, it could be, detrimental to him on a few different levels.
It was a mistake.
And so absolutely, I agree with Tannenbaum on this one. This is a comment that you don't want to hear from a third-round pick, especially one that's in competition with 4 other quarterbacks. And then on top of that, it speaks to the decision-making of a quarterback. Part of your job as a quarterback is to be the face of the franchise. And you don't want to be known as somebody that's going to get up there in front of the media and say something to throw your teammates under the bus, say something that could possibly throw anybody in your organization under the bus. And so I think it's very telling. But here comes Adam Scheffler with the Boys Will Be Boys spin. Go ahead and take a listen.
He wasn't talking about Shedeur Sanders. He came out right after the press conference or after that interview and clarified what he meant. Okay, so you're taking a shot at the media. Okay, fine. You're saying he could get cut, or if he were to get cut. The Browns are going to keep, I believe, 4 quarterbacks.
And I don't disagree with Adam Scheffler, and I know a lot of us don't. It was a mistake, but it wasn't a unforgivable mistake, not a mistake that you can't come back from. But here's the issue. Here's the issue that a lot of us had since day one with a lot of little stuff like this. If the shoe was on the other foot, and Stephen A. Smith is about to bring that point up.
Had that been Shedeur Sanders who made that exact comment, it would have been taken completely differently. How much of a benefit of a doubt would he have gotten that he wasn't talking about Dillon Gabriel? How much would he have been excoriated for talking about the media that way? And so because of that, now you're going to look at people and they're going to say, okay, well, it wasn't him.
And so Stephen A. Smith hit the nail right on the head. If the shoe was on the other foot, would Shedeur Sanders be given this kind of grace? And the answer, like a lot of us know, is hell no. The media would have used this, the Cleveland Browns media probably would have used this to say, you know what, all the narratives were true. He is a me guy. He's not thinking about the team. He's Deion's son. And so it goes back to the age-old sentiment, having to be twice as good to get half as much. And Shedeur Sanders got railroaded and put in a situation where he has to be darn near perfect. But here's the kicker. He has been so far. Outside of a speeding ticket, he's been darn near close to perfect. But as usual, those are my thoughts on it. You guys go ahead and chime in. Let me know how y'all feel about it below. Let's go ahead and keep that conversation going. And as usual, peace and chaos.